Welcome to today's lesson. We're diving into a topic that impacts lives everywhere. Drugs, how they're used, abused, and how addiction develops. Even if you think this doesn't affect you personally, chances are you know someone it does. Think of this as a way to empower yourself with knowledge and choices that shape your future. We're talking about more than just substances here. We're talking about life decisions, health, and well-being. Ask yourself, why do people turn to substances? And what can we do to avoid paths that don't serve us? Stay open. You might be surprised how relevant this is. Not all drugs are created equal. They affect our minds and bodies in very different ways. Understanding these categories helps us recognize how each drug changes the way we think, feel, and act. Reflect on what you've seen in media or heard in conversation. Can you match any drug you know to these categories? Let's talk specifics. Cannabis might sound harmless to some, but its effects vary from person to person. Oats. Cocaine and spice are stimulants and synthetics, often glamorized but incredibly risky. Ask yourself, how much do I really know about these substances? Would I be able to recognize the risks if someone offered them to me or a friend? Some of these drugs, like mushrooms or ecstasy, are often labeled as party drugs. But just because something is common doesn't mean it's safe. Long-term impacts are real. Pause and ask yourself, is the risk worth it for a short-term high? Risk and protective factors are all about what surrounds us, our family, friends, and habits. Everyone faces challenges, but resilience is about how we bounce back. What are your own risk factors? And more importantly, what protective factors do you already have in place? Here's where we take a closer look at those influences. The more positive stuff we stack up, the better chance we have at staying healthy and grounded. Think about your support systems. Who or what helps you stay on track when life gets messy? Addiction doesn't usually happen all at once. It's a slow slide from curiosity to dependency. Knowing the stages helps us recognize the red flags early, either in ourselves or people we care about. Can you spot where the tipping point might be? Addiction has ripple effects. It impacts family, friendships, school, jobs, physical and mental health, and your finances. This slide isn't here to scare you, it's here to show you the real-life consequences so you can make real-life choices. Ask yourself, what matters most to you, and what's worth protecting? Your choices are powerful. You don't have to be perfect, but being intentional about the life you want can lead to better opportunities and better relationships. What kind of lifestyle do you want to build for yourself? What habits will help you get there?
Categories
Let's wrap
helps
this
us
up.
recognize how
If you
each
remember
drug
anything, let it
changes
be this. Knowledge gives you options. Resources exist, support is out there, and your future is still yours to shape. If you ever feel unsure or overwhelmed, don't stay silent. Reach out. You're never alone in this.